Welcome back to another interview presented by Alabama Wrestling Forums. I'm Jackson Bast here with Alabama State finalist and NWCA All American Michael Jackson. How you doing today, Michael?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm real good. I'm real good.
So first off, I start asking this question with everybody. What got you into wrestling?
This was a long time ago, but like around third, fourth grade. Uh, I was playing football mainly around then, but we had this little, like when Thompson first started their wrestling program, they had this little like thing at the intermediate school where they like try it like tryouts kind of, but like see if you're interested. And after that, I just been wrestling since then. So
I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but Michael Jackson was quite the youth wrestler. He was all over the mat. I remember me and him used to wrestle on one team. We were on the kids' duels. Then we were like Team Iowa. We ended up finishing second. That was a heck of a team. I remember the other guy. We had James Latona was on that team. I can't remember anybody else. And then I remember the winning team had Matthew Rogers and maybe Ryan Summerlin. I can't remember.
that was long time ago. It is long.
So obviously your career didn't really start off until your junior year of high school. What was it kind of like being in that room? That's such a tough room to be in. You've got stud after stud after stud, especially in every single weight. A lot of their upper weights, they had some pretty solid guys. I know you range between 150 and 170, but what's it like being able to be a part of a program with so much depth?
I mean, it was one, it was hot. Two, two, like it was very competitive. Like, but we all had one goal in getting each other better, and which did happen. And then like really, it really sparked around when Sam left for Virginia Tech early, like around my sophomore year. Like that's when really it sparked, and everybody was like, "Yeah, it's time to get going," and everybody started working harder, and then after that, it's just my skills skyrocketed and it's got better, and it's still increasing. I can say I'm still getting better. So
Tell us a little more about what it was like when Sam Latona left and how that did affect the team.
for some people, it like I could say they didn't like it because like he left, but like for others, it like for me, it inspired. I'm like, well, I know if Sam can do it, I'm pretty sure I can go to college too and wrestle too. So after that, yeah, that's really what it is.
Now, your junior year, you did some pretty solid stuff. You won the South Conference, right? Am I right?
Yes, I did. I won both years actually. Well, really, my junior year, I won the guy that won it. I think, if I remember correctly, from Hoover. He backed. He didn't wrestle me in the finals at regionals, and because apparently he wanted to save the match type deal. He didn't want to. I was thinking he was scared, but I won. I won regions.
Yes.
Okay. So we're calling out Jack White. I think he's in Utah now, but Jack, MJ's ready for you, just coming off an All American. I don't know if you guys want to fight, but I'll try to set it up. No, but for real, the real question I have to, I understand how losing somebody like Sam has to be pretty troubling, especially for such a program. He's been so pivotal in such a big leadership role. But my next question for you was kind of a question, kind of a statement. You were in a really solid position battle with, at the time, state placer Alex Ward. You like I said, you didn't have those kinds of requisites like he did. You kind of had to come out and you fought for that position and you got it. Kind of talk to us through that.
Uh, really, just my passion for the sport, and I took that wrestle off and beat him. I think I pinned him actually, but yeah, I pinned him for the wrestle off, and then ever since then, I've been wrestling up weight classes, like for real, for real. Like, yeah.
It seems like wrestling up a couple weights is something that Thompson's pretty used to. Remember, it was, you wrestled up like a 170 as a 190. Remember, Will Browder was weighing 152, wrestling 170. And then I remember Jeremiah Coney, who he was 197 and he was pushing it because he actually missed weight on the other side because he weighed less than 197.1. He actually was trying to drink an entire gallon of water before weigh-ins.
We had to just to make weight. It was crazy. That was, oh.
Now, we talked about the leaps and bounds that you made your junior year, but let's talk about the even bigger step you made from your junior to your senior year. I remember watching the South Eastern Pool Finals where you were wrestling the guy who was number one at the time, highest running placer, Jack Higgins from Mountain Brook, and you pinned him in the second. And I'm sitting there like, is anybody going to be able to touch Michael Jackson?
Man, my senior year, I didn't lose a single match in Alabama until finals. Yeah, that was crazy. All my matches were lost in Georgia and Florida, and that was only like five. That was five. It was six at state finals when I lost to Buddy from Huntsville. He was yeah, the senior year was crazy. Yeah.
Remember, you didn't get the results you wanted when you fell in the state finals to Stephen Cagle of Huntsville. And of course, you'd already talked a little bit to me about planning on wrestling at college at Allen University. And what were some of the things that drew you to Allen University and Coach Pack? The Yellow Jackets, right? You guys are Yellow Jackets?
Yeah. It was really the small campus we have. Like I would say I wasn't ready for like a big campus yet. Probably now I probably am, but yeah, I was just intrigued about the campus and like, I mean, it's a HBCU. My mom really wanted me to go to HBCU. I was like, you know what, I want to experience it, and it's actually it's the real deal over here. I mean, like the people. I mean, some people are kind. I can say that some people, but it's a good experience though. You meet a lot of people in the HBCU. I mean, the culture, just everything it's amazing. It's cool. It's real cool.
That was another thing I was going to ask you about. What's the importance of wrestling at an HBCU? I see so many HBCUs popping up everywhere, and I know with the Black Wrestling Association, it's become such a prosperous program. So, what is the importance of wrestling at a historically Black college and university?
I mean, it's for us like African Americans, us black kids. I mean, like it's a real good opportunity for them to come out and just wrestle like and be like around people that look like you, and it's the environment, and it changes like it changes you a little bit, I could say, but it makes you see clear, like it makes you like I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it's an experience, like, and really that's all I can say is about a HBCU. But the wrestling, I mean, there's only two, is FAMU and us. I'd say Morgan State now, but they don't even have like their program started, but they don't even have a coach yet. But then they'll be the next one. So yeah, I mean it's.
No, I think places like North Carolina A&T, which I think is the biggest HBCU, and many other North Carolina and South Carolina historically Black colleges and universities are practically prime real estate, and would be awesome to start some more and more programs out there. But let me take a sec and ask you about your Allen journey. Talk to us. I know that you guys heard that you guys are going to have COVID, which kind of really messed up your year, and then of course you guys are transferring into D2. It's just been such a big journey for you guys. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Started freshman year, Uh, I really can't say I competed because I was injured, but I only had one match, and that was towards the end of the year. I won that match. It was against Kentucky Western, and but for the other guys, they said it was fun. It was a good experience, but like this year, I really can't say too much on last year because, like how you said, COVID, everything got canceled for real. I mean, we were gonna go to NAIA nationals last year, but the school canceled us from going, so we weren't able to go. But this year, when we started, I mean, we've been all year we wrestled Division II teams. Huntington, that's about it. But we wrestled Division II all the way up until nationals. We wrestled some club teams, we wrestled Liberty at Lander, and we didn't have a full team at the point, but we barely lost. I would have said we barely lost, but if we had a full lineup, it would have been way closer than it was. Like we could have beat Liberty. I still think we can beat Liberty. And next year we're gonna be really good. I know that for sure. But leading all the way up to nationals, um, we went to regionals and I placed third. I lost to Jesse Redding, the one that I beat for the fifth and sixth before this fifth and sixth match. I lost to him by one at regionals, and then we get to nationals. Training, getting my stamina back up for the tournament, because that's what I needed, and it helped because of All American. But I got my stamina back up. I got my cardio. I was working hard for these nationals, and when the time came, I like to say that I did my best for sure. I feel like I could have won that tournament for sure, but the way the seating was, they had like the 1 and 2 seed on the bottom bracket, like not even the 1 and 2 seed, but the top two people in the weight class on the bottom bracket, and they had everybody else. Like basically, all the good people were at the bottom bracket, and like everybody else was like up at the top, except for like one that got second at regionals, and not regionals but nationals. And I feel like if the bracket was just placed a little bit better and correctly, I feel like I could have definitely at least won or became a finalist for sure. But that's that's been my journey for the past 2 years for with this wrestling program. Yeah, and my coach is thinking about making another club team for U23s coming up, and some of us are thinking about going to that. And I said I might go, depending on like work and school and all that. But yeah, U23s is definitely a choice coming up for sure.
Did we just get some breaking news that MJ is going to be wrestling at U23s? That'll make a Yellow Jacket All American and World Team member in the same year coming up. No, but the main reason I had you on is, of course, the fact that you became an All American. Kind of talk to us about what that feeling is like.
I knew it was coming. Everybody asked me, "What is it like to be an All American?" I mean, at the heat of the moment, it was felt so good. Like, man, my work really paid off. I finally did it, but I just know I'm not done. I just know I'm not done. Like, and progressing and getting better, and placing and all of that. I mean, I feel like I got a lot more to do. A lot more to do. But nationals, it was a good experience. I mean, people were for some reason really friendly. I mean, like you walk up to somebody in weight class you didn't even know, what's up? I mean, like, hey, like, what weight class you in? 197? Oh, me too. Yeah, nationals was a great experience. I wouldn't say it was like when I went to Fargo, because Fargo, that was different. I mean, I was like, I had chills every day. I mean, with Brett getting on that mat. But like, as soon as I got there and we had practice before the tournament, I already made myself like familiar with the place. I I just walked around the building, walked around the mats, did my little mat ritual, and I was like, well, I know what I'm doing when this tournament starts. I'm All American. I know that for sure. I came in the tournament 2 weeks before. Yeah, I already know I'm an All American. I already know. I already had it in my mindset I'm an All American, but I also had it in my head that I wanted to win. But unfortunately, I didn't. But yeah, nationals was a really cool experience. I met a lot of cool people. I can say everybody when we was getting the medals, everybody like the top 8 was, and we all came to agreement. Hey, let's run it back next year. Everybody said that. Hey, see how everybody plays next year. I mean, because everybody that placed the top 8 next year, everybody's coming back. So hopefully everybody come back healthy. Hopefully I come back healthy, ready to go, and it should be good next year. It should.
MJ, thank you so much for joining me. And is there anything you want to say to my viewers before I let you go?
Hey, if y'all like viewers, keep watching. I mean, he's a good guy. Y'all are listening to, and wrestlers listening. Hey, promise you, if you put in the work, you can do anything. I promise you. You promise you can. And I'm a good example. Sam's a good example. I mean, because we're representing me, Sam, Kyler. We're all representing Alabama right now. So.
And of course, MJ, thank you so much for joining me. And thank you to you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay cool over wrestling.